What's up, guys? This is Rebecca the Diva coming at y'all with yet another video. But before I get into this very important informational video, if you are new, welcome to my channel. I am Rebecca the Diva. Only thing I ask you to do is like this video, share this video, because sharing is caring. There's no secrets on this channel. Please leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Come on, guys, I know we can do it. And if you're not new, welcome back, Diva Gang. As you can tell by the title, this video is about being a medical assistant and all the pros and cons that come along with that field of work. I myself am a certified medical assistant, and I've been a medical assistant for, I want to say, about a good 10 years now. So I'm just going to jump right into this video, and this is my Vlogmas 14. I am behind, so please, guys, just forgive me because I'm busy at home. I'm tired. I'm trying to come up with new content for you guys instead of just reaction videos. But yes, and please excuse the way that I look. I'm in the process of doing a quick weave, which I'm probably gonna do a tutorial on that for you guys too. But we're gonna jump right into this video. So, what is a medical assistant? A medical assistant is basically you're almost like a nurse. But what you do is you work in the doctor's office, and you're working right alongside the doctor. So you're either working in the front of the office or the back of the office. If you work in the front of the office, that medical assistant is the first person that you see when you walk in and you sign your little name and they call your name and say, can you have your ID and insurance? That would be a front office medical assistant or a medical administrative assistant. Back office is the one that calls your name and say, hey, how are you today? I'm going to take your vitals. So we will take your vitals, which is your pulse and heart rate and blood pressure and temperature, and ask you what's going on today, what brought you into the office, or if it's a routine checkup, you know, let you know what's going to happen, put you in a room, you know, and then you just wait to see the doctor. The pros and cons of being a medical assistant, well, I'll put it this way, the pros and cons of being a front office medical assistant, which I rarely work because I don't like paperwork, but the pros of it is like you get to sit down most of the time. You know, you don't do a lot of walking backwards and forwards. You're the first person that the patient is going to see, so that's a pro if you're a people person. The cons of it is it's a lot of putting information into the computer. It's a lot of calling insurance companies, verifying stuff. It's a lot of doing authorizations. It's a lot of dealing with angry patients, you know. And the most important part of working front office is getting your co-pays out of your patients, because a patient thinks because they have insurance, just to say if you have a $50 copay, trust me, a patient will talk you out of giving you that copay, which is going to make your office manager mad, or it's going to make the doctor mad, because 9 times 10 it's the doctor's office, it's his practice, and this is how he's making his money. So that's the most important part of working front office, is getting those co-pays, which I don't like doing, because I'm like, okay, now I'm trying to say these people are sick. Even if they got the money, they don't really want to give it to you in the first place. Now I sound like a collections officer instead of, you know, a medical assistant. So that's that part. So back office, the pros of back office is you get to do the hands-on with the patients. You get to, you know, do the vitals, and for me personally, it's the older patients that I like, because they like to talk to you a lot and they like to tell you stories, and you learn a lot from the older people. The con for me working back office is the children. I'm not going to say I don't like children, but I don't like working around children all day long and then have to come home and work and deal with my own kids. And kids can be a little bit brutal. They will kick you, they will spit on you, they will throw up on you, and it's almost impossible to draw blood from a child. So no, I don't like dealing with that, but I will if I have to. It comes with the territory. A con of working back office is you never, hardly ever sit down. I mean, it's constantly, especially if you have a big practice and it's constantly busy, It's constantly get up, call a patient, take the vitals, room the patient, next. And it's because most doctors schedule their appointments 15-minute intervals, okay? So if it's like a follow-up appointment, like let's just say you went to the ER on, yesterday was Monday, you went to the ER, so they want you to follow up with your doctor today, which is Tuesday. We're only going to schedule you for a 15-minute appointment because we just want to know, why did you go to ER, what was the end result, and do you need something else? The end. But if it's like a complete physical, that would probably be scheduled out 30 to 45 minutes, just depending. Or if it's a geriatric patient, that will be scheduled out 30 to 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, depending on how sick the patient is. So, with that being said, it's like back to back to back to back to back patients, and you normally hardly ever sit down and get a moment's rest. Not only that, you have lots of paperwork to do because you're taking care of the doctor's notes, you're calling pharmacies, you're sending over prescriptions, you're calling back patients, you know. And me working in an office, like when I was working in a primary care office, I kind of like did my callbacks for patients at the end of the day. Like, so if my day ended at 4, so around 3:30 to 4, I would use that time to call back my patients, you know. And like I said, once again, it's a very tedious job, but it's worth it in the long run if that's the field that you're into. Another pro of being a medical assistant, and I do have my notes, so if you see me looking down, I'm reading from my notes. It's an amazing, inspiring job to have, especially if you want to go into the nursing field. So like me, like I said, been working on and off in the field for 10 years. I'm now currently a registered nursing student. Hopefully in the next year or two, I will finish out with that and get my bachelor's degree in registered nursing. With that being said, the con of that is, if you're really into nursing, don't go to medical assisting school. Just go ahead on and do nursing. Go, because I regret it. Like, my parents both told me, oh, you need to be a nurse, you need to be a nurse. But when I was young, I was like, I don't want to be no nurse. But then I started having my kids. I got into the medical assisting field. I regret the school that I went to. So that gives me to another one. Make sure you choose a very well-known accredited school. And also look at the prices that they charge. Because the school that I went to, I want to say back in 2009. Yeah, 2009. They charged me $10,000, you know, for the program. The only good thing about that is, which brings me to another pro, is I'm cross-trained. And what I mean by that is I can do front office as well as back office. So I know the whole ropes, you know. So I can either get a job working just in the front of the office, or I can get a job working just in the back of the office. Or with some offices, like as in my first job that I had gotten at a primary care clinic, I worked both, you know. So I was a floater. So for a month or two, I might have been in the front, then I might have been in the back. I might have been stuck in the office doing referrals. So it just all depends on the office that you work for. Another con is it's a lot of work. Okay, a lot of work. Because most doctors do not know how to run their office. And that's a proven fact. They know nothing at all besides patient care. How to be a doctor and do their care. They don't know how to send a referral. They don't know how to do anything. Okay, so they're going to look to you like you're almighty God of Zeus, and you got to know it right offhand. Okay, and if you don't know right offhand, 9 times 10 they're going to get annoyed with you. So that right there is, you've got to know your office. Now most offices, especially a bigger office, they're going to have an office manager. Okay, that is a godsend, because 9 times 10 your office manager is going to handle every single thing that the doctor is expecting you to know. Okay, so the doctor comes to you, I need this, that, and that, and that, and list down 3 things. I'm going to turn around and go to my manager like, he needs this, and that. I'll handle this. Could you get her to handle that, and you take care of that other thing? And it works out great if you have a great team, which leads me to coworkers. Now, one thing I've experienced as a MA, and it's been every single place that I've worked, whether it be a temporary place, or I was just trying out for a job, or it was my permanent place to work. There are so many haters. It's like when you get there, these females are looking at you like, why is she here? Stuff like that. It's like they're jealous. They think you're gonna take their job from them. So if you can get into a place and you step in with that good foot, and you and your co-workers can be on the same page, that would be a godsend. Okay, I remember my first job was in MA. It was this one girl. She was a Hispanic girl, and she did not like me at all. And I got this job through my externship, because when you go to school and you do your classes and you graduate, before you can get your license, you have to do an externship, which is like 10 weeks, 2.5 months, 3 months, whatever. So this place was my externship, and then I got hired. So once I got hired, it was like she hated me. She hated to work with me. She didn't want me helping her room her patients. And she said, I can't remember, this happened so long ago, I can't really remember what she said to me one day, but she said something to me, and I got so mad. Because me, I can tell you, I'm from New York, I'm from Brooklyn. I go from 0 to 10 real quick. But I also was raised right. So if I'm in my place of business or my place of work, I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to do any of that. So I got so mad because I wanted to punch this girl for talking to me the way she did. I just sat there at my desk and was crying, because I wanted to fight so bad. And my manager, she was like, Rebecca, what's wrong with you? I was like, Alex did this and she said that, and I don't want to work here no more. And she was like, oh my God. So they pulled us into the office, and we were able to just mediate, you know. At the end of the day, she apologized, and she stayed out of my face, and I stayed out of hers, you know. But you will get those other MAs that work there that are kind of like, man. And the best advice that I can give you is stay yourself, be polite, because at the end of the day, you guys got to work together. But yeah, that was my experience with that. Another con is the pay. Now, if you're looking to get rich, then this job is definitely not for you. But the pro side of that is you can live a comfortable life as an MA. At this point in time, December 2019, an MA coming straight out of school can make $14 to $16 an hour, depending on where you work, okay? Even in a smaller city, when I worked as an MA, I made $12 an hour. You know, the cost of living was not that high at the time. I didn't own a car or anything like that, so me and my kids lived pretty comfortable. You know, I live in a predominantly big city. So when I did have an MA job, because I'm not working right now due to my disability, when I did have an MA job, I made about $14 an hour. And like I said, I was able to survive off of that and be comfortable, you know, pay rent, bills, take care of the kids, and still have play money left, like me and my bestie like to say. So you can live comfortable off of this job. And if you're a 2-income household, like if it's you and your husband or boyfriend or fiance, you'll definitely be okay. You know what I'm saying? My goal for myself, like I said, I'm a nursing student, so this job is basically, being an MA is just basically a stepping stone, because when I first started being an MA, it was something that I was going to do long term. But as I got in depth and more into the medical field, I decided, yes, I want to be a registered nurse. Another thing you must realize, and this is, if you don't remember anything else that I said in this video, please remember this. The patient is always right. Remember that. The patient is always right. Like the customer is always right when you go into the clothing store, the grocery store. Don't argue with your patients. Just don't, because you'll end up fired. Trust me, you will. Can you fire a patient? Yes, you can. If you have a disrespectful patient that keeps coming into your office and he's rude to you and he's rude to your doctor and he's rude to everybody, you can say, you know what, you no longer are a patient here, please don't come back here. But do not argue with your patients. That's the #1 golden rule. Another pro/con is being a medical assistant is just like being a nurse. We do everything a nurse do. The only 2 things that you cannot do is prescribe a patient medication or start an IV. Now, you can administer medications to patients. Like if the doctor say, give this patient a shot of Toradol. Toradol is a pain medication. You can do that. You give injections to kids. You draw blood. But you cannot say, oh, here's a prescription for, some Tylenol. You can't do that. And you cannot start an IV. I have been put in positions when I worked in a hospital where I was told that I had to start an IV, and I didn't want to argue with the nurse, so I knew how to do it, so I did it anyways. But if anything happened, I would have been fired, and this nurse would have lost her license, So that, yeah, you got to be careful. Don't let nurses boss you around, because trust me, when you work in a hospital setting, a nurse will boss your ass around. They treat you like you're the bottom of the totem pole, that you're a slave, and it's not fair. Another pro is please choose a well-accredited school. And back 10 years ago, there weren't many colleges that offered medical assistant programs, but moving forward, there are like every college, community college that you will see listed offers some type of medical assisting program, which is a great thing, because I paid $10,000 for my certificate. It was not worth it. Whereas if I would have went to the community college, it would only cost me like $3,000. So yeah, please choose a well-accredited school. Another thing is, when you graduate from your school, you're going to be certified, but you will not be licensed. And this day, now back when I first started, being licensed wasn't really important. But as of 2019, people are asking, are you licensed through the AMAA, which stands for American Medical Assistants Association? It costs about $100. You pay the fee. They'll let you know where to go and take your test. You take your test, you get a state license, and it's good. Some licenses are good from within all the states. Some licenses just go from state to state. I am currently not licensed because I let my license expire. If I decide to go back into medical assisting, I will, of course, update my license. Once again, like I said, please choose a medical assisting program that you can be cross-trained in, because it can be beneficial for you. Some schools just offer the administrative medical assistant program, which allows you to only work in the front office, and then some of them offer the certified medical assistant program, which allows you to work in the back of the office, and then some offers you both. Like the program that I took, I was trained both, like I said. So I do front office and back office, which I prefer back office. Another pro, and this is about the most important thing, you can work anywhere, okay, within the medical field. You can work in a nursing home, hospital, primary care clinic, urgent care clinic, or regular internal medicine clinic. Anywhere you can work, I prefer not to work in a nursing home, because that's not what I want to do. I've worked in primary care clinics, I've worked in urgent care clinics, and I've worked in hospitals. Out of the three, I would say the best place to work would be the hospital, because you're on the same schedule as the nurses, how they work the 3 12-hour shifts. So you will work 3 days a week, you'll be off 4 days a week, and you'll work every other weekend. That's about the best that you can do, in this field, and you get, if you're full-time, you get full-time benefits. There are also temporary agencies, like if you live in a town where you checked all the hospitals and they're not hiring right now, and the clinics are not hiring. Because I live in not a big giant town, but it's a medium-sized town, and what I've noticed is a lot of the clinics here, especially the smaller clinics, they have MAs that's been with them for years, and they're not really looking for any more MAs. Then I have 2 main hospitals where I live, so they're always hiring. But in a hospital type setting, at least I know where in the city that I live, a medical assistant is basically going to be put in a clinic. So if I go to my local hospital and fill out as an MA, they're going to put me in a clinic that's open from like 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, and I work Monday through Friday, and that's it. If you want to work in a hospital setting, the title now is patient care technician or patient care assistant. Same thing, different title, but you're doing the same thing as an MA, just about patient care. And lastly, what I'm going to say about this job as a medical assistant, you're saving lives. So if you're all about helping people and saving lives, and you're passionate about it, this is the most wonderfulest job for you. And that's why I'm in it. I love saving lives. I love giving patient care. I love being that shoulder to lean on when that patient is not feeling well. You have to have a strong heart, though, because you get patients that have just been diagnosed with cancer or this or that or whatever the case may be, and it's like they may need somebody just to be there for them, and you have to be that driving force. But that's all I have for this. If you want any more information on this, please, I will leave my email address in the description box. Please feel free to email me, leave a comment, and I will definitely get back to you with more information. Until next time, guys, bye.